introduce you to a personal friend of mine. This is an M41A pulse rifle, 10 millimeter, an over and under 30 millimeter pump-action grenade launcher.
All right, let's take a look at this. This is a heavy beast. This is the SW11 pulse rifle, and this is by Snowwolf, which is actually the first time I have seen this in a while. I reviewed a Snowwolf Barrett bolt-action sniper rifle back in the day with my pal Freedom. So this is the first time I've seen this brand in a long time. This is the owner's manual, and it is quite a thick one with a lot of photos in it. It actually looks like this was originally sold as a kit to modify a Thompson, as you can see in here, and how to take it apart and assemble it into the SW11 pulse rifle. So it has a lot more detail than you typically find in an owner's manual of an airsoft rifle. So you'll be primarily concerned with how to install the battery and where to put the magazine rather than the rest of the stuff back here, but it's good to know. And you'll also find the typical details about how to adjust the hop up, how to load the magazine, etc., in the back half of this owner's manual. So always read your owner's manual. Comes with a set of testing DVs. Of course, these are probably 2.2 gram, and this also comes with a magazine, and it is sounds like there's already a BB in here. This is a metal magazine, high cap, looking pretty nice. This is a heavy beast. This is 8 pounds, or almost 8 pounds. Oh, and it comes with a de-jamming rod there. Let's take a close look at this thing. This is mostly plastic on the outside, but the Thompson itself, it's got to be metal, because this thing weighs quite a bit. At 8 pounds, this is not something you'd want to take with you in an all-day outdoor op like Bad Blood or a hardcore mill sim. This is definitely a heavy beast, but it looks quite nice. Let's take a look at this. This is the undersling. I believe in the movie it was a grenade launcher, but really it's just a pump shotgun. It looks like sort of like the front half of a Spaz. Don't know exactly what they used to modify this or what the armors did with the original props, but they did start with the real pulse rifle, or at least the pulse rifle in the movie. Aliens was a Thompson submachine gun, and here is your round counter, which is the coolest feature of this rifle, I think. You can see the mock shell here. Of course, this would be super, super cool if this actually was a functioning 3-shot shotgun, but nope. You'll need this space here for the battery. And the magazine fits under here in this cap, and there is a 9-volt battery you need to add to work the round counter. This is probably the weakest part so far I've found, is the magazine cover, battery cover. Feels very cheap, and well, these are reinforced metal, so you don't have to worry about these tabs breaking off too easily, because they're just plastic panels over a metal band in here. But still, it does feel a little chintzy, so I would be a little concerned. Again, would be super cool to bring this to an airsoft arena, but just be mindful that you might get some parts cracked if you're bumping into things a little too hard. This is the black and gray model. It comes in a green model, I forget which, I think a battle damage model as well. I like the black one. It looks actually fairly close to the movie prop version, and this would be a good starter base to do your own custom weathering and battle damage, because you could have the undercoat of black and you could do the dry rub of metal and paint on top of this. So this would be a good base coat. Anyway, let's load her up, put a battery inside this beast, and see how well it shoots. Battery fits in the front here. This is the battery cover, and it is spring loaded, so you do have to pull it out, and it's got quite a fairly strong spring. We have our small Tamiya. Let's see. I'm going to put in this stick battery here and see if it'll fit. Okay, that won't fit. Inside the battery compartment was a large plastic panel that served no other purpose than to keep a small 7.4 volt stick battery from rattling around, so I decided to modify it to allow for a wider variety of batteries. Alright, so I drilled out that panel there just to make some room to put a decent sized battery in there. So, simple modification, hack, anyway. So we've attached a 9 volt battery to the bottom of the mag well here, and this is just a faux mag well. This is a standard Thompson style magazine. Let's attach that into there. It's a little tricky because you can't really see where your magazine guide rails, they're pretty high up there in this foam mag well. And the mag release, like on a standard Thompson, is here. You press this up to release the tab that's in here to be able to pull out your magazine on here. This charging handle does not function, it doesn't reciprocate, but it does expose your cylinder and port, which is interesting. And your hop up is where your ejection port would be in a real Thompson. You can just adjust that there. And the rear stock also extends. There's a little button there that you press, and it also locks it in. So press that in. There isn't any way to mount an optic on this, at least not a normal way to mount an optic. There's just this channel here that functions as your sort of aiming device. Kind of very crude, but then again, you know, that I believe there wasn't any sort of optical aiming device in the original movie prop either. All right, I'm sure all of you really want to know is, does this counter work? So let's find out. Make sure that you have everything clear and safe and you are wearing your eye protection. I've set this on full auto. And let's just see how that counter works. There we go. Once you get it to 0, it just stops. It doesn't cycle back to 95. So that's just something to be aware of. Now, I believe the only way to reset that is by turning this switch on and back, turning it off and back on again. If there is some sort of hidden reset button on here, please leave me a comment. Let me know where it is, because I couldn't find it, and I didn't find any mention of it in the instruction manual or documentation. Anyway, let's take it out to the arena and see how well it plays. We're at GamePod, the largest indoor airsoft arena in the country, with 2 acres of CQB. And while we're here, let's take a quick peek at Evic Outpost, their satellite store here in Antioch, California. I want to thank Evic again for sending me this pulse rifle to test and review, but I'm actually not going to keep it. I'm going to give it away here at GamePod in a charity raffle. And while we're gawking at all the tactical gear and airsoft guns, I'd just like to ask you a favor. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It just takes a second, and it's an absolutely free way to help support this channel. And it also helps you out because you're taking control of the algorithm. You're telling the AI that this is quality content, and you'll start seeing more videos like this suggested on your homepage instead of whatever is the most popular video on YouTube, unless you're into K-pop bands. So before we can skirmish with this gun, we need to make sure that it falls within safe FPS and rate of fire limits. And indoors, you can see the pulse rifle's round counter very clearly. With an 11-volt LiPo and 0.2 gram BBs, the chrono was measuring 12 rounds per second at 259 FPS. The pulse rifle was skirmishable, but it does have its limitations. It is a heavy rifle, heavier than some Airsoft M249s. It has a relatively slow 12 rounds per second rate of fire, but this actually may not be bad considering it only fits a short 190 round high cap magazine. And as we saw earlier, that magazine is not easy to swap out. This is not a high-speed, low-drag setup. Yet despite those limitations, there is an undeniable cool factor whenever you walk into an airsoft field or an arena carrying a pulse rifle. Perfect for the tactical LARP that is airsoft. So, the Matrix Limited Edition Alien Pulse Rifle is certainly a cool and unique airsoft gun, and one of the few sci-fi weapons that you could credibly skirmish with. And if you're interested in picking one up, you could find links in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. Definitely check that out and use that link to support this channel. And you can support this channel for free by sharing, and subscribing. And to show my appreciation to my subscribers, as I mentioned, I gave away this pulse rifle. Subscribers submitted entries online and in person, and at the end of a very hot Labor Day weekend.
Ready? Thomas Swift!
Congratulations to the winner, your pulse rifle is on its way. And thanks for supporting this channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Moondog, out. We can all do our part to strengthen our sport by taking a noob to the range. Introduce them to a new hobby in a fun, safe way. Start by sharing this video with them on forums, Facebook, TikTok, Telegram, whatever. And if you want to see all of my videos, check out moondogindustries.com.